All right, here we are. Welcome back to the Adventure Media Podcast. I am Trent.
I am Christian, and this is the episode everyone's been waiting for.
And we are way overdue doing, just FYI.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work getting UA2025 up and off the ground. We have pulled the pin on the hand grenade, and now it's time to let the cat out of the bag as to who the invited subscribers are who will be joining us on this year's Unreal Adventure 2025 presented by Skyjacker.
That's right. And before we dive into the readers, I think, or the subscribers, excuse me,
Yeah.
we're still getting used to this. We're still getting used to this.
It's going to happen all year long.
Yes, it is. Probably the next couple years, maybe, possibly. But anyway, before we jump into that, it is worth mentioning who is really making this thing happen. And that doesn't include the two chuckleheads that you can see on your screen right now. That also includes a very dedicated and select group of sponsors. And Christian's already mentioned one of them, Skyjacker Suspension. Christian, what can we say about Skyjacker?
Salt of the earth people, real world wheelers. They're out there walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And they're just in this thing. It's something that I know they look forward to every year, and we look forward to hanging with them. They are truly our off-road family, and a better partner in this thing we could not ask for.
Agreed. And they do a lot of work behind the scenes as well for us, some of the logistics and stuff like that. Couldn't imagine a better partner, and we're so thankful to have them. And then let's see, and then next up, in no particular order.
Well, I'm wearing the shirt, so let's mention.
All right, let's go for it.
Quigley Custom Driveshafts, Tiger, Renee, the whole crew there, Dave, and we're getting the band back together. The official custom drive shaft is returning to Unreal Adventure. I almost did it again. And just again, best partner you could ask for. I mean, bend over backwards, do anything for you. And they're always out there with a huge smile on their face. Again, it's something they look forward to all year long. And I just can't imagine a UA without them.
Agreed. And in addition to fielding a vehicle, they also help us out quite a bit in the background in a support capacity. They actually supply an extra van with a driver. That driver's name is Dave Eisenbell. Great dude. We don't get to see much of him on screen, but he's actually the guy that's responsible for getting the camera guys, not only them, but also all their gear to all the trails and stuff like that. So they're just like, once again, an amazing partner. Let's next talk about IH Parts America, Jeff and Zaid Ismail. Those guys, super cool dudes. They have been hard at work. They are fielding 2 new cars. Well, I should say 1 brand new car. One is technically returning, but it is being rebuilt from the ground up. I mean, Jeff went all the way down to the chassis. Basically, he rolled that car in 2020. And that inspired him to build Hideous, which is the vehicle that and I'm sorry, we say car, it's a West Coast thing. I know we get stuff about that. It doesn't matter. It's a vehicle. We call them cars. But anyway, he's bringing Hideous, or he's not going to be bringing Hideous this year. He's going to be bringing back what he calls White Scout. And he's actually been doing a fantastic job doing a build series on it. Honestly, he's almost embarrassing us because we actually have a build series coming too, guys. Just letting you know, FYI. But he's doing a great job with that. We're super stoked to have them back on board again this year. So, all right, with that, Christian, who's up next?
Well, after that, we have Milestar Tire, the official tire of Unreal Adventure. Great partners, and this year, almost everyone that I can think of is going to be taking advantage of a very generous offer, Milestar Extended, to run your choice of pretty much whatever tire in the catalog you want to run. most of the guys and girls are picking the Patagonia MT02 in either the regular DOT or the Black Label Sticky. So we're going to keep your eye out during the event coverage to kind of get a feel for who's running what.
Exactly. Yeah. And I actually just picked up 10 tires from them last week, both for the vehicle that we'll be fielding this year and also Vern Simon's tires, who is actually also the official fabricator this year. I should mention that. VerneCo Fab. If we have time, maybe we'll touch a little bit more on what we're doing in terms of a vehicle this year and stuff like that. But Vern has stepped up to the plate and is very much taking the lead on. It's not going to be a full scratch build, but it's going to be a revamp of sorts. But it's a revamp if you're a longtime viewer of Unreal Adventure and what it used to be before, you might recognize the car. Just saying. So there's that. And then next up, Christian, who's next?
The longest continuous sponsor of UA, Offroad Design. So Stephen Watson and family, we've had pretty much the whole Watson clan along on this event over the years. And this year, Jackson's coming back. So we're going to have Riley's going to take a pause, and Jackson's coming back in the co-driver slot.
Nice.
And they are another company who's doing a fresh build for UA. So they're burning the candle at both ends right now, coming up with a new vehicle they're going to unveil on UA.
I haven't talked to the Watson. But Christian, is this a fresh build or is this maybe a revamp?
I think it's a fresh build.
Really?
Yep. They're hard at work.
See, I don't even know this guy. So this is
to be sure, it's going to have an Offroad Design Magnum box in the transfer case department, and more than likely an Offroad Design built MP205, since they're the official transfer case of Unreal Adventure.
I would be shocked if they showed up with anything else.
Stands to reason. And then we have a newcomer who we're very excited about.
Super excited.
We have, I know the person responsible for getting this company on board has been wanting to come on UA for many, many years, and we're thrilled to have them along, and that is Comeup Winch.
Yes.
It's the winch of Unreal Adventure. Trent and I have worked with them in the past on a couple different projects in another life and in another world. And they're great people to work with, a great partner, and we're excited to have them on.
Yeah, and they're not they're not new to the game by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I can remember first utilizing their winches maybe almost a decade ago. So they are not newcomers to the winch game, and they've actually done a really good job just continually innovating and improving and expanding their product line. They've got a couple of really cool innovations that I didn't know about until actually getting them on board and really kind of learning more of the nuts and bolts of it. And there'll probably be an opportunity for John Snow, who's going to be representing the company, to elaborate on that a bit as we move along. But super excited to have them on board. And John, just a quick plug to one of our cronies, John's truck, which is going on this year's event, actually just Dave Chappelle at the Dirt Head Shed, which if you don't know who that is, go check him out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, of course, while you're there. But he actually just finished up a very, very cool exo cage on the truck that John is going to be fielding during the event. So that is super cool. Yeah. So,
and I know they're really excited to prove their, the durability and the performance of their product out in the field. So there's no better test bed than UA for that.
No. And based on what I know about the route, there could be a fair number of winching opportunities this year.
Ample opportunities. Yes.
Ample opportunities for that. All right. Well, I'm sure that everybody is tired of listening to it's necessary though, guys. These are the people that literally make this event happen. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have the resources to put this thing together. So, but let's move on to what everybody's here for. So, Christian, I'm going to let you take the driver's seat on this one, and I'm going to be the color guy this time.
All right, color commentator by Trent McGee. Well, with that said, this person is probably no stranger to color commentators, but our first invited subscriber, in no particular order, by the way, and again, apologies if we butcher any names, but in the 1979 GMC K35, we've got Mr. John Welborn. So John is the CEO of Power Athlete Incorporated, and he's a former NFL offensive lineman. So if you Google his name, you'll kind of get some of his NFL history. We actually didn't realize that until that came up
not
later in the game, but it's just kind of a neat, you never know who's into this hobby, this sport, and who you might run into on the trail. So but John with his awesome 79 GMC K35. So let's see, just a quick overview of the vehicle. He's running currently, he's got a 41 1350 17 Pitbull rockers on it, but he's switching to the 40 1350 R17 Milestar Patagonia MT02 in the black label flavor for UA. The engine, it's powered by a 12-valve Cummins with a 215 horsepower pump. So, I mean, it's turned up a little bit, and when you see the video of it, just kind of idling, it sounds like a rappy diesel. I mean, it sounds like it's not just a grocery getter. Backing the Cummins is an MB4500 5-speed manual. Love rowing my own gear, so good on you, John. And backing that is an Offroad Design Magnum box with an MP205. Underneath the chassis, we got a Ford Dana 60 front, 488s and a manual aux locker, and a GM14 bolt in the back with 488s and a Yukon. And then the suspension is pretty trick. It's parallel 4-link front with 14-inch coilovers, and a triangulated 4-link rear with 14-inch coilovers. So the triangulated 4-link in the back obviously eliminates the need for a track bar. You get a lot more articulation, better ride, everything. So it's that's kind of like the indicator of the upper level builds when you see that. This guy ain't messing around. And then of course, sounds rowdy. The paint job's awesome. And speaking with John on the phone, he's mentally okay to kind of munch it up on the trail and, unpretty it a little bit. But I'm betting generally my experience is the guys who kind of lead with that have a full bag of tricks at their disposal. And generally they're the ones who end the week looking just as pretty as they went into it. So we'll see. But John, welcome aboard. And he's selected for his co-driver this year. I guess we'll mention co-driver since we know them all already.
Okay.
Matt. Oh boy, I mentioned butchering last name. Sorry, Matt. Matt Shadarowicz. Matt Shadarowicz. Co-driving for John. Sorry.
Okay. So it looks like I got the impression in talking with John on the phone, this is a fresh build, but it has been together for a few months. So at least he's had a little bit of time to, get some of those inevitable bugs worked out and all that stuff. And I know it has been running and driving for a while. He's run several tanks of gas through it, or fuel, I should say fuel, and everything. And he has taken it out wheeling and everything. But it sounds like this is going to be this thing's first big trip. And so we are all looking forward to it. It's certainly got the chops, on paper, and it seems and sure sounds like John's got everything he needs to actually make it happen. So, and
it sounds like John's a hands-on guy too. So if anything does come up, it sounds like he's going to have the skills to and the wherewithal to handle it.
Indeed, and I might be wrong on this, but I want to say John very much built this car, but he also had the assistance of, I believe that the other gentleman, his co-driver, is responsible for a lot of the build as well. So if they do have some mechanicals, I'm willing to bet they're going to be able to handle it no matter what. So that's super cool.
Okay, well, our next invited subscriber is Ross Hauk in the 1971 International Scout 800B. So Ross hails from Fort Collins, Colorado. He is the owner and operator of Fort Collins 4x4. So no secret where that thing is.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So Ross is running, currently he's running 41, 14, 50, 17 Interco IROX. That's what was on it when he entered. But he is switching to 40, 13, 50, 17 Milestar Patagonia MT02s in the black label flavor, as are a lot of our people.
Hello, Unreal Adventure. I'm excited to share with you guys why I want to come on an Unreal Adventure. My name is Ross Hauk. I've owned a Scout for 15 years now. 2011 is when I got the Scout. It was an original 71 800B Comanche. Those apparently are worth some money, but I cut it up anyway. I didn't know better at the time. I've had a few internationals over the years, but this is the one that I've kept and worked on and wheeled the most. The 5.7 Hemi is out of a 2012 Charger. It had low miles on it. It's been actually really reliable. A gentleman down in Arkansas, Chris, at Hotwire Auto, built the harness and computer. It's been super, super reliable. Like I said, the Scout was built simply. It's not overly complex, but love the modern fuel injected engine. It's got plenty of power. It's got a 545 RFE automatic transmission out of a Cherokee. Front axle is a Dana 60 GM, 513 gears, Detroit locker, chromoly shafts that are Yukons, PSC hydro assist, 78, 79 Bronco style box, high-end shocks in there. Leaf springs are GM square body, so nothing fancy. Pretty low on the up travel, decent on the droop. Excellent on the road. I actually do drive this on the highway quite a bit. Many of my trips are 6-7 days, 1,000 miles at a time, taking a group of either employees or friends or customers on a Colorado adventure. So I get to do that every year. Now that's part of why I want to come, is I have never been outside of Colorado or Utah. I haven't wheeled Arizona, New Mexico, the South, the East, anywhere. So really hoping I get a chance to come and do some wheeling somewhere new.
So those guys, Hotwire Auto, they really know
that's the go-to people. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, if you're listening. And then bringing up the rear is an Offroad Design Magnum box and an MP205 T-case. So repping that official T-case sponsor. And Ross has owned this thing 15 years ago and kind of built it up to suit his needs and his skill set as he's kind of, developed as a wheeler. So it's one of those, it's kind of one of those vehicles that sort of becomes a part of the owner, So I'm sure he knows that thing inside and out. He's got onboard air spares and all sorts of cool stuff tucked in like little niches and ammo cans under the hood and a lot of thoughtful modifications and upgrades. And Ross, for his co-driver, is bringing Adam Winslow.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I mean, obviously, Scout's near and dear to my heart for sure. This thing is probably the closest in terms of overall stance to the Ultimate International, and I think it's super cool. I mean, that wasn't really why it got picked. It's just that it's just a neat car.
And I like the fact that he is like a Hemi instead of.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take out the International engine, do something with flair.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to add. I mean, the thing's been together for a long time. He obviously knows what he's doing. Seems
Looks
like
good. It's tastefully built. It's got the right stance, and then we're excited to have him on board.
Yeah, seems like a really cool guy. Really looking forward to wheeling with him. So yeah, there you go. All right. Well, who's up next, Christian?
All right. Next up, we have Alex Matula from East Bernard, Texas, and his 1979 Toyota pickup. That thing was pretty dope. He's running.
Oh yeah.
He's running. He says it in his video, his walk around video. He says it was a flood car. So he got it, it had been in some Texas flood, and he got it, probably scored it.
Not the most recent.
Yeah, not the most recent one, because he's had it built for about a year now. So he got it and built it about a year ago. But it's sitting on 40 1350 R17 tires. He's got 17x9 Dirty Life Enigma beadlocks on it. Good wheels. We're seeing a lot more Dirty Lives come into play here. The engine is pretty cool. It's a Toyota 3RZ. That's a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder out of like a newer, 2000 era, late 90s, early 2000s Toyota truck. But he's got a China turbocharger on it, making, I think he said 7 PSI boost or so. So with the factory ECU. So, I mean, what's not to like about that, right? Back in that is a Toyota W59 5-speed manual transmission. And then he's running twin Toyota 23 spline T-cases with a 2:28 ratio on the front and a 4.7 in the rear box for a total of 10.7 to 1 reduction in
ridiculous.
Ridiculous reduction. And then the axles, you've got a Toyota axles front and rear, but it's a FJ80 high pinion center section in the front with 529s and an Eaton E-locker. And he's got a full float Toyota rear. I stumble into those every now and then, and every time I see a Toyota full floater, I'm like, that's a cool axle.
Mm-hmm.
That one's running an 8-inch center section and 529s for gears and a Yukon Grizzly locker out back. So dirt simple. Suspensions, 5-inch Marlin Crawler springs, done spring under, forward shackle in the front, and 12-inch Bilstein 5150 shocks. I can't remember the last time 5150s were made, but I'm pretty sure by now they're antiques. So they're kind of cool shocks with like a little piggyback remote reservoir on them. Mm-hmm. They were made like back in the late 90s, early 2000s when those came out. And then the rear suspension is 57-inch long Ford springs, also spring under, and 13-inch shocks, which I don't think he mentioned what those are, but they could be 5150s or maybe just something off the shelf he had laying around. I know whenever I can put a part on from the shelf to use, I'm always stoked. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a cool little Toyota. It should have plenty of power, unlike most little 4-cylinder squirrel engines, and he does not look like he's afraid to use the thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a 3RZ, right? On the engine?
Yeah, 3RZ.
Yeah, I know that those things respond really well to boost, and so he's not. I don't think he's ringing out the bottom end or risking anything by doing. And
I have a 3RZ, and it's almost got 400,000 miles on it.
Yeah, and so those things are pretty bulletproof. They're a great little engine. Let's just face it, the looks on this thing are just on point. I mean, it looks cool as hell. I love the way he did the front bumper, which is super old school looking. It's a fresh-ish build, but it's not. And I'm sorry if I'm looking over here because I'm actually looking at photos of this thing, but anyway, it's a fresh build, but he's spent some time with it, and I think this one has actually been out on the trail quite a few times. And Alex, I kind of got the impression this isn't his only vehicle. I think that the guys that he hangs with, most of them have rock buggies, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of them. And so the guy knows his way around rocks, which is probably going to come in pretty handy this year, just saying. And so I can't wait to see this thing out on the trail. And I think it's going to be an eclectic addition to the mix.
Right. And co-driving with him is Chris Schindel. Again, apologies, don't know. Chris, we'll meet you.
Right.
Your name right.
We'll apologize in person.
Yeah. But again, get some good old Texas boys. We're excited to have them along. Next up, so number 3 again number 4. Sorry, in no particular order. We have, and probably no big surprise since he made the Dirty Dozen last year. We have Scott Fox in his AMC Eagle, 1982 AMC Eagle. So the factory TRAR has made it to UA. This thing's sitting on 40 by 1350 R17 tires, Dirty Life beadlocks. It's a GM 5.3 liter engine, nice, simple, reliable engine with a dirt simple turbo 400 3-speed auto behind it, and an NP241C T-case. So we'll see if he will regret not doing a doubler or a Magnum or a cast iron box of some sort. But those things are pretty durable. They seem to hang tight, and I'm sure Scott knows how to keep that thing alive. The axles, Ford 1-ton axles. We get a Dana 60 front and a 10.5-inch rear, both with 488s. And the front has a Spartan locker, and the rear is running a Grizzly locker. So auto lockers, front and rear. And then suspension, we got a 3-link front with 14-inch coilovers and a 4-link rear with 16-inch coilovers. So a little bit of wheel travel there on the TRAR. It's funny. We had the BMW last year, which is obviously not a factory 4x4 vehicle. Might be an all-wheel drive vehicle in the best case scenario. And that thing was like, a group of NASA engineers, kind of that was their special pet project to, maybe be the new Mars rover or something. So just super, super infinitely high-end, engineering. And Scott, I'm not taking away from Scott's build. I think it's super cool, but this is more, the big hammer and blowtorch kind of version of that,
buzz box in the garage to the dryer circuit. Yeah.
Brute strength, just making a car go down the trail. So yeah, we're stoked. And just talking to Scott on the phone, I mean, he is a party in a pair of pants. He's just like, he's a good dude. So we're stoked to have him along, and his co-driver Justin Clements.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Once again, just the look of this thing is just on point. You don't see these things every day. Period. You certainly don't see them on 40s. I think is what you said.
40s.
Yeah, and so Scott was so close last year. He was so close, and so
he was an alternate. So every now and then, we don't do it every year, but every now and then we will let one of the close ones know. If anyone drops out for any reason, you be ready to go, and it might be 24 hours before the start. So, and if you're willing to be an alternate, the alternates don't get to know where we're starting. So if you're ready to load your junk and go who knows where in the USA on 24 hours notice to go wheeling with a bunch of strangers, you're of the right mindset to be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, and I mean, it is just clear to me just by looking at the rig, and then there's also that shot of the cut down bus that's like his buggy hauler sort of a thing. I want to meet this guy. I'm looking forward because this guy has a sense of humor. Yeah. And so super looking forward to that. I mean, anybody that builds an Eagle and swings 60s and 40s off of a unibody car, that's the kind of person I want to hang with for sure.
Well, we get to.
Yep, there you go. All right, Christian, who's up next?
So our last of the new five invited subscribers is Joey Rokes from Easley, South Carolina. Joey's the one with the 1985 Jeep CJ-10a, and Joey, this thing was. I mean, it had it, like you said, it has the look. It's got it in spades, and it's built really well too. So we got under the hood a Cummins 4BT, 545 Allison automatic transmission. Those are both out of a bread truck. Good, cheap, reliable source of fleet maintained drivetrain. Back in that is a divorced MP205 that's been twin sticked. All that turns 37 1250 17 tires. So a relatively, modest tire size these days, especially given the fact that with that Jeep body, you could almost certainly fit 40s in there. But he's gonna make do with some smaller rubber, which I'm all for. You only need 35s to be UA. I don't want to say legal, but compliant. That's the rules. 35 or bigger. Yep. Underneath, we have a Dana 60 front with chrome moly shafts, and 456 gears and a Detroit locker, and a Dana 70 rear with 456s and a Detroit. So dirt simple, no forgetting to turn your locker on, nothing like that. Front and rear leaf springs. They're relatively flat leaf packs, done spring over. And then, I think you mentioned it at one point, Trent. He's you think he's going to be this down south boy, and you talk to him on the phone, and he's got this super thick Maine accent. He's from New England, maniac from New England. So, he's just a good old boy. It doesn't matter if you're from Maine or Southeast. He, again, like some of this stuff comes out after we've selected the vehicle. We do the phone interview. Like, it's not in the questions we ask. Like, do you know Chris Durham? It might need to be a question we ask, because year over year we do seem to pick people who are friends with Chris. So, helpful hint: if you want a better chance coming on UA, maybe go buy Chris a beer. But turns out he knows Chris, has utilized Chris. Like, Chris built the Chris Durham Motorsports built the aluminum tie rod and drag link on his steering setup. But co-driving for him, and this came as a surprise after the fact. After I kind of start the UA thing, I asked them who's co-driving for you, and he put his co-driver in. I didn't even notice. And Renee from Quigley's like, is it a mistake that Travis Farmer is on the list? Like, so Travis, who came on UA2020 and the returning reader for 21, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Travis has weaseled his way. He has pulled a Robert Keller and weaseled his way back into the event for a three-peat. So welcome back, Travis.
Nice. And just to refresh everybody's memory, Travis was the one in the white van. So the white GMs, the ice cream van. And so like I said, we had no idea. It just that didn't come out until much later. I did meet Joey very briefly in Moab this year. Super nice guy. Actually, he's actually a heavy equipment mechanic, or not a heavy equipment, but a heavy diesel mechanic. And so he works on 18-wheelers and stuff like that, and RVs and stuff. And he was actually able to answer a couple questions I had about my RV. And a super nice guy. So
I think I might be wrong. I think his shop is called Joey's Truck Repair.
I believe you're right.
Pretty. Yeah. I mean, that is
simple.
To the point.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, super stoked. CJ-10. I mean, and let's face it, it's an old school build. It's leaf springs. It's nothing special. 37s. You don't have to have the biggest, baddest stuff out there to not only get selected on UA, but also to be a part of UA. I mean, it really to like do really well on almost any trip. Do you remember back in the early 2000s or late 90s? Do you remember the name Jeff Cummins? Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. He rock crawled it was a CJ5, so he was wheelbase limited, but he had a 4BT in this little mm-hmm. CJ5, and that was a competition rig back in the day. So you kind of forget in this world of whiz bang coilovers and buggy lines and all this other stuff, like how capable a build like this really is.
For sure. And I guess as a great transition from just how basic and stuff you can be to be how basic a vehicle you need to have to be successful on a UA. Let's go ahead and announce the returning reader.
Not reader, a returning subscriber.
I did it again.
We're gonna have to like $1 in a jar.
I was gonna say $0.25 in a jar or something like that. Sorry, subscriber.
Yeah. So returning for UA for a second time is Trask Wyman from the great state of Montana in his 1990 Ford F-350. So Trask was the thing about returning readers is, when you are selected as a invited subscriber, reader, whatever, when you're selected for the first time, $1 in, the vehicle is what hooks us. It's like, oh, that's a cool build. And then it's like, the phone interview with the owner, the driver is really what kind of seals the deal. but it's the inverse for the returning subscriber. Like, it is the person who indicates, is completely, the vehicle doesn't even enter the picture. It's like, it's all based on the person. And so it's the cronies who select the returning subscriber. And, some years it's pretty close. Some years it's a complete landslide. But Trask.
And this year was exceptionally hard.
Yeah.
This year was exceptionally hard.
We had a really great crew of people last year. But Trask, just always a positive attitude, a smile on his face, a willingness to help no matter what was needed from someone else. Your quintessential partner in off-roading. So we're stoked to have him back. He has been busy. He has been a busy little boy up there, and his winter project in a Montana winter is not just a couple weeks. So he over the winter he ditched the bed. He built a hand fabricated steel bed, which came out really cool. Mm-hmm. Dotted all his I's, crossed all his T's, and he's back with the big red Ford. So it's just to recap real quick. It's powered by the factory 460. The transmission is the factory ZF 5-speed. The axles are the factory Ford Dana 60 10.5. I mean, do you see a theme here? And then about the only deviation from stock is the MP203 205 doubler.
Okay, cool. Well, and it's funny about Trask because he disclosed to me during the trip this past year that a lot of the suspension that was under his truck was pretty much homebrew, just, Og and Krog. I think he had some coil spacers on it and stuff like that and everything. And then when he got selected, he's like, oh boy, I better make some stuff right, and stuff. And so he actually worked with Skyjacker and they were able to get him set up with some proper parts to fix some of the, ranch hands, you do what you do in the middle of nowhere, Montana, type of stuff and everything. But he's continued that. I mean, the trail bed that he built looks legit, and we're just super excited to have him. And like I said, it was, and not that Christian or I really had a say, but I know that the cronies themselves were really, it was a tough decision last year. And so the guys that, didn't get selected, man, and I know I speak for Christian when I say, if we could, I would invite the entire Dirty Dozen. I would invite all of the readers and to come, or subscribers. My turn, $1. We would invite them all. I mean, because we really do. We really want all you guys to continue to be a part of this. But as Christian likes to say, this thing usually catches fire and falls over on its side all by itself, as it is, just with the crew, the limited amount of people that we do have. And so to invite everybody, it's not sustainable. And I think to do so would also take away from some of the uniqueness of this event. And so to everybody, to the Dirty Dozen, both this year and last, that weren't selected, please don't be discouraged. It's an incredibly tough job, but it's also, we want to maintain what this thing has become. And unfortunately, that leads to us having to make some difficult choices. And some of those choices, to be quite honest with you, are as stupid as we have too many red cars this year. I'm not kidding. I mean, we have too many Toyotas. Sometimes it's that stupid. It has nothing to do with the vehicle. It has nothing to do with the person. It's the mix. And we want to keep it fresh. We want to keep it exciting. We want a variety of vehicles. And that variety changes every single year. And so please, the past readers or subscribers and all that. Yeah, $1. please don't get discouraged, because just reapply, and there'll be another chance. There'll be another opportunity, down the road. And
Johnny
so,
Wood, Scott Fox, I could go on and on and on. A lot of people have made it after, some people have applied 6-7 times. Just keep your hat in the ring if it's something you really want to do. And honestly, that kind of shows us too that, hey, this person's in it to win it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of the gentleman right now, but the S10 from a couple of years ago, I think it was his 7th year. To apply, and he finally made the cut. And honestly, in that the number of times that he kept going really means a lot. And we
Derek Rickford.
That's right. Thank you, Derek Rickford. Sorry, Derek. The years just run together after a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with that, I think that about wraps things up. I did mention. Go ahead. So
keep your eyes peeled for this on this YouTube channel for updates, pre-event updates, and maybe some special surprises from the road this year.
That's right.
And
I got
probably.
Yep. I let's just say we've acquired a bit of equipment. It's actually right next to me, but we have a bit of equipment that allows us to do things from the road that we would never have been able to do before, even like maybe a couple years ago. So we are going to do our best. And then on top of that, as I have mentioned before, we are working on a build, and we are hoping to get some updates for that. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks before the first one's out, but we're fielding a new vehicle. It's not a brand new vehicle. Excuse me. It's not a brand new vehicle. It is a new, older vehicle, but it's been around for a while. And I am personally super excited for, just reasons that will become obvious. But yeah, there's a lot of work ahead. I was actually over there working on it today. And so there's a lot more coming, guys. There's a whole lot more coming. So, we're sometimes a little bit spotty about how often we post or the regularity of our posts. There is so much going on in the background on these things, and it really is Christian and I. It's just the two of us, and we're trying our best. We're trying, boss. We're trying. Don't holler at me. But in the meantime, like I said, the best thing you guys can do to keep up to date on this year's event is hit those buttons down there and do your things. Watch another video on this channel, and that's really all I had.
Subscribe, sign up for notifications when we do a new video, and then we've got our Instagram, Unreal Adventure Official. We'll be doing updates from the event and pre and post and during on there, and then obviously on Facebook. Just search us out there. And then also, we do have some UA merch that's going to be coming.
That's right.
It's the first time I've ever said merch, I think, in a video that's going to be published. So
the link is going to be.
Don't know how I feel about that.
The link is going to be down below. So if you're, we've got some fresh stuff coming. And the link will update dynamically when we add some things, which should be coming within the next week or so, hopefully. So yeah. Keep an eye out. So there you go. That's all the
that's
stuff.
All the housekeeping.
Yeah, that's all the housekeeping.
Anything UA2025.
Yeah. Anything else on your end?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. Congrats to all the invited readers. Looking forward to spending a week with all of you guys, and we will catch you next time. Good night, everybody.